Hopefully we start the stream in 1 minute. Okay.
Stay tuned for the live auction and check out the 7-night stay in Asheville. The property is amazing, and it even has a zip line.
Afternoon. I had to get away from work because I came out to this property. Look at this. It's 25 acres of heaven, and there's a lake front right there. And this guy right here, we call it the Tree of Life. And it's all part of Freedom Ride, and I'm very fortunate to be on the board. If you don't know about Freedom Ride, it's horses and people and therapy, and it's amazing. Go find out more about it. Go to freedomride.com. Everybody have a great weekend.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue. We don't ever play it and the night is young. It doesn't matter what we do. There ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. looking for a bar in the near.
Hey, Amy, where are you going with that wheelbarrow?
I'm going to stock the bar.
Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like you.
Hi, my name is Larry Epstein, and I am the founder of Launch. We are a creative agency based right here in Central Florida. We do show business for business. With the help of our show producers, script writers, graphic designers, and video editors, we will help you tell your story with copy and compelling visuals. Live in person, or virtual, or both. Our creative agency powers our in-house production company, where we design and build theatrical scenery. We have concert sound systems, show lighting, large projection screens, camera crews, and LED walls. From the bottom of my heart, I am so proud to support Freedom Ride. They change the lives of so many challenged adults and children here in Central Florida. I'm honored to host them here on our soundstage. Best of luck.
Stay tuned for the live auction and check out the 7-night stay in Asheville. The property is amazing, and it even has a zip line.
Afternoon. I had to get away from work because I came out to this property. Look at this. It's 25 acres of heaven, and there's a lake front right there. And this guy right here, we call it the Tree of Life. And it's all part of Freedom Ride, and I'm very fortunate to be on the board. If you don't know about Freedom Ride, it's horses and people and therapy, and it's amazing. Go find out more about it. Go to freedomride.com. Everybody have a great weekend.
Hey, Amy, where are you going with that wheelbarrow?
I'm going to stock the barn.
It's Friday afternoon. I had to get away from work because I came out to this property. Look at this. It's 25 acres of heaven, and there's a lake front right there. And this guy right here, we call it the Tree of Life. And it's all part of Freedom Ride, and I'm very fortunate to be on the board. If you don't know about Freedom Ride, it's horses and people and therapy, and it's amazing. Go find out more about it. Go to freedomride.com. Everybody have a great weekend.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue. We don't ever play it and the night is young. It doesn't matter what we do. There ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you enjoying the Freedom Ride Jeans and Jewels pre-show, we are about 9 minutes until the beginning of our main program. How do I know that? Well, it says it right there, right? So just keep watching that clock and you will know that the show is just about 9 minutes from getting started. If you are not signed up for our auction, you have to do that. If you want to have that full immersive experience, we've got some great prizes to give away just for getting signed up. All you have to do is follow the directions on your screen. Right there, it says Jeans and Jewels 2021. You text that with no spaces to 243725. Get signed up. The silent auction has been open all week long. But if you haven't started bidding, now's the time. The silent auction is going to close around 6:15. We will count you down to the end of the silent auction, but you can't say you didn't have enough time because we've been telling you all week to bid in this silent auction. We're telling you now you've got about 25 minutes left in the silent auction. We will count you down all the way to the close of that silent auction, so stand by for that to happen. I will also tell you that in about 8 minutes, we're actually going to open the show not with me as the MC, but wait till you see who the co-host of this year's virtual Jeans and Jewels are. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll be back with you at 6 o'clock straight up here at 2021's Jeans and Jewels benefiting Freedom Ride.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second annual Virtual Jeans and Jewels fundraiser. Hey, Rusty, take your mic off mute and add video. We can't see or hear you, which is unusual. I'm hungry. Can you see me? You're the largest of all of us, so yeah, we always see you. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Yes, Image, and your tiara looks great, as usual. I'm really excited to watch the program, but how do I bid on things? You can bid from your phone or your computer. The link to your mobile bidding is on the Freedom Ride website, and you may have to receive a text with the link if you attended last year. Just register, enter your credit card information, and you're good to go. Do I need 2 devices, a smartphone and a computer? It might be easier with 2 devices, but you can use either your computer or your phone, and either split the screen or go back and forth between the sites. Hey everybody, I'm not wearing pants. None of us is wearing pants. We're horses. Meow. I'm a cat. Can I make a donation instead of bidding on items? Yeah, you can. Just look for the donation button. When does this shindig start? It's starting right now. Take it away, Jason.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me formally and officially be the first human to welcome you to the 2021 Jeans and Jewels supporting Freedom Ride. That's right. That is our studio audience over there. We are small but mighty. It is 2 people, right? But at the same time, we are here to bring you an amazing program. I want to thank my co-host who helped me open the show. You saw Gravity and Image and Whitey and Rusty and Halo and Noah. They're going to be with us throughout the program at different times, helping us MC the program, if you will. And of course, Cheeto. We don't want to forget Cheeto as well, who you saw there in the video. Now, folks, this is a fundraiser. It's the fundraisers. It's the most important of Freedom Ride as we go into these summer months, right? In order to have a full immersive experience and be part of this program, we want you to sign up for our BidPal platform. To do that, all you have to do is text the words Jeans and Jewels 2021 to 243-725. You see right there on your screen, again, no spaces, Jeans and Jewels 2021 to 243-725. Once you do that, if you haven't already started, you can bid in the silent auction. You can buy your opportunity drawing tickets. The silent auction is going to close in about 15 minutes. We will count you down to the last few seconds of that silent auction. So if you haven't started bidding in the silent auction, bid now. If you have started bidding in the silent auction, bid now. Same instructions, right? Just get those bids in, help raise money for Freedom Ride. The opportunity drawings, all of those things can be purchased through your bidding device, whether it be your phone like I have it here in front of me, or maybe it's your iPad, or maybe it's your laptop, whatever it may be. You can all buy through there. And you see there's something that says raffle and sponsor a horse. If you want to buy into our raffle, we've got Apple ear pods. We've got a beautiful orchid that is one of the most popular raffle items every year, a leather toad, a Hillstone restaurant raffle opportunity, and the martini packages with vodka and gin. We don't discriminate here, right? So buy your way in and see if you win those. We will announce those at the end of the program. We're also going to have registration rewards. So registering, it can be a little bit selfish on your part. Not only will you have an opportunity to bid on our auction items and buy our raffle opportunities, but you could win prizes. And all you have to do to be registered, to win those prizes, is be registered. We're going to randomly select 3 different people throughout the program. And if your name is called, you're going to win a $50 Amazon gift card. It's that easy. So our first registration reward is going to be picked right now at random of all the people who are registered. If we can pick that, announce that name now. Candace Bunk, you're our first winner of the day. Where's my bell? Come on, there's the bell. All right, Candace, congratulations. You won an Amazon gift card, $50 for doing absolutely nothing but being registered. So, folks, if you're watching this program and not registered, just get registered. Just sign up for the auction. Have a chance to win more Amazon gift cards later on in the program. Once again, text Jeans and Jewels 2021 to 243-725. We do want to thank all of our sponsors who got on board with this program. In this new virtual world, which isn't so new anymore, but is important that we have those sponsors who support this organization and support this program, Jeans and Jewels specifically. So we do want to take a moment to thank Hunter Brady Architects and CPH, of course, Cahill Homes. We've got the amazing Art and Phyllis Grindle Foundation, who year in and year out support Freedom Ride. Witham is one of our sponsors, Rumberger and Kirk. How about the Launch Group, the wonderful AV and technology company who we are broadcasting from their studios here this evening, and Orlando Health. Thank you to all of our premier sponsors of tonight's Jeans and Jewels virtual style here in 2021. Now, as we go into the next part of the program, it's time to take a moment to really learn a little bit about this organization. Learn about where they've been for the past 23 years since they started and where they are going. There are amazing things on the horizon for our friends at Freedom Ride. And here to tell you a little bit about that is the board president, of course, our executive director. Please welcome Brad Davis and Marianne Gray.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Welcome, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you visiting us on our virtual Jeans and Jewels this year. It's been a really unusual year, as I know so many of you have appreciate, and we thank you for your attention. I've been involved with the organization for almost 15 years now, Freedom Ride having been started back in 1998. Mid-March of 2020, Freedom Ride followed the Orange County school guidelines for the COVID pandemic and stopped all programs. We stayed in touch with our riders in the therapeutic program with emails and cards from the horses, which were promptly answered with drawings of their favorite horse and notes on how much they missed them. Not only did we miss all the riders and the veterans, but our revenue from classes came to a halt. And in many cases, we reimbursed the riders because 10 weeks of missed classes. Many of you know, Freedom Ride is also in the process of relocating to a beautiful new spot, and we've started a campaign to raise capital to construct the infrastructure. I'm happy to report that Freedom Ride is thriving and busier than it ever has been. Marianne?
Thanks, Brad, and it's such a pleasure to work with you and the rest of the board of directors, and also a pleasure to work with our fabulous staff who does so much work out here. I want to tell you all a little bit about our programs. We have about 80 riders each week in our therapeutic riding program, and actually now have a waiting list. We don't even advertise our services, but the word gets out on how well it works. The horses are healing. Our riders all have a disability: autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, even effects from a stroke. Riding their horse once a week strengthens muscles, helps with balance and coordination, and almost more importantly, offers a sense of accomplishment and confidence. This is the program we've been known for over 20 years. A few years ago, Freedom Ride started a program for our U.S. veterans. We currently have a contract with the Orlando VA, who bring veterans from Lake Nona and Baldwin Park to Freedom Ride. The veterans work on the ground, they don't even ride the horses. But their time with these beautiful animals teach them trust, confidence, communication, and learning to transition from difficult memories to moving forward. Freedom Ride also offers a mental wellness program. This is a program that works with one or more horses on the ground. We serve individuals and groups that have suffered from human trafficking, depression, and anxiety. This program, along with the veterans, are Freedom Ride's fastest growing programs. We have seen that although traditional therapy is helpful, the programs here almost show immediate results in healing these individuals. It's not only a tranquil time for them with the horses, but the outcome extends to their day-to-day lives away from here. I truly believe that part of all this healing is just being outside. I would also like to acknowledge our volunteer program. We have over 100 volunteers each week. We absolutely could not exist without their dedication. For anyone to give their time to an organization is really the most precious gift, and we truly appreciate it. So Freedom Ride is back on track, and Brad, would you like to tell everyone about this exciting news we have?
Love to, Marianne. It's very exciting. As many of you know, we've been located here on Lee Road for the last 25 years or so. Graciously, the city of Orlando has leased the property to us, but it's time for us to move on. And we have found a new location, less than 2.5 miles away, just on the other side of John Young, and it's on a lake, about 24 acres, beautiful oak trees. We're looking forward to it. We're going to be building a new barn, house 20 horses, covered arena, and many other attributes that will add to the programs that we provide to our volunteers and to our participants.
The property is truly beautiful. We've been out there several times, and you just don't want to leave. It's just so peaceful. In fact, we're holding the monthly board meetings there, so it's just fabulous to get a feel of what it's going to be like working there. And In fact, if you need a little peace in your life these days, that's the place to go. So let us know down the road, and we'd love to have you come and visit our new home. And it's just fabulous, very exciting chapter for all of us. And right now we just want to thank you again for joining us in this virtual event. We hope to see you next year, but for now, join the ride and stick with us. Back to you, Jason.
Hey, Bride Marion, thank you so much. It is amazing the things that are happening here at Freedom Ride. Over the years, we have seen this organization grow, and it got to the point where they had just outgrown their boundaries. So what did they do? They found the perfect property, and little did they know that that property would be less than 2.5 miles away from where their current property is. So they are in the process of moving everything over to this gorgeous piece of land. And you know what? We want to give you a chance to see it yourself. And I wouldn't be surprised if when we get back together in person next year for Jeans and Jewels 2022, we get to host Jeans and Jewels at the new property in their beautiful new arena. But we want to give you a little sneak peek into exactly what it's going to look like and what it looks like now. And to do that, we're going to allow a past board chair to help give this video to you, and you're going to get a chance to hear the docile tones of Pat Michaels.
The Bay Lake property is named that way because, well, it's on beautiful Bay Lake. In fact, Freedom Ride's new home includes some 4 acres in that lake. It's an oasis, 25 acres of solitude, dotted with majestic oaks, including this guy, the Tree of Life, standing guard over the vast pasture land. The fields are dotted with flowers, including milkweed, which attracts monarch butterflies. They have decided to call Freedom Ride their home. And soon, this will also be our permanent home for our 13 horses, providing their horsepower for the spirit.
Ah, look how happy those horses are, right? And if you think the horses are happy there, wait until you see what our participants are going to feel like at this new property. Now, as you see there on the screen, what's about to happen? Well, the silent auction is about to close. I will tell you that it's going to close in about 6 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put a 6-minute counter on right now. But please understand that it's not an exact 6 minutes. Because of the way that latency works, and latency simply means that the words that are coming out of my mouth are reaching people at home at different times. Because of latency, it's not going to be an exact 6 minutes. So I encourage you to put in max bids, to put in high bids, to put in bids often and often and often. And we will let you know if you won that auction item when I get the alert here in the studio that the silent auction is going to close. There's only one item with no bids. We're going to talk about that item in a moment. So if that hasn't sold out by the time I come back to you in a moment, we will make sure that we promote that one. There's some great items in our silent auction. And of course, our raffle sales are going on now as well. The raffle sales will close at the same time as the silent auction closes. So I'll tell you again, if you remember a moment ago, I gave a 6-minute warning. It's probably a little bit less than that now, but the raffle and the silent auction are both going to close in just a few moments. So please put in those bids. I know so many of you have been bidding all week long in the silent auction and buying those raffle opportunities. The live auction is even open for bidding right now, but we're going to have a separate section for the live auction coming up in just a little while. As you place those final bids during this part of the program, we do want to give you the opportunity to get a look back from just a few weeks ago when our friends at Channel 6 had a chance to come out to Freedom Ride to learn about not only the great work that they're doing, but the great work they have to come.
Florida nonprofits, location is everything. It's where people know how to find them and usually where they can do the most good.
And that was certainly the case for this week's Getting Results Award winners. That was until they found their piece of paradise. Here's Matt Austin.
We're right in the middle of Orlando. It's amazing, this peacefulness right in the middle of the hustle bustle. I think that's part of why it works.
Just beyond the tree line at Lee Road and Edgewater Drive.
1, 2.
Freedom Ride therapeutic horseback riding is changing lives.
Grab your reins.
There's a lot of history that occurred here.
The nonprofit calls the former Ben White Raceway home. And just like boots in a stirrup, it's been a perfect fit.
In fact, these stalls that we're using were built back then for the trotters.
Every day for nearly 20 years, riders of all ages have climbed up onto these beautiful, giant creatures and become one with nature.
The only way to describe it is your body takes on the horse.
People like Jason Sango, who's recovering from a stroke.
I can just feel Every week I can feel, improvement here, an improvement here.
And kids like 11-year-old Victoria Collier.
Ready? Take your shot. Good job. I'll go get that white one again.
She has Down syndrome.
Up, leg,
And 17-year-old Carlos Mancia.
It changed his life. It changed his life.
Who has cerebral palsy.
So he's getting more stable.
And whoa.
More strong.
And that's the point. Riders here see improved strength, confidence, and a sense of accomplishment.
They're finally a leader on the top of a 1,000-pound animal.
But for all their success,
our time is up here.
The days on this property are numbered. You see, the city of Orlando has had plans for years to expand Trotters Park. To do that, they need this land.
They have been extending our lease here, but it's time for us to move on for many reasons.
After years of searching, a new home was waiting right around the corner.
The location is a paradise for what we do. It's 2.4 miles from where we are, which that alone is incredible.
25 acres, shaded by oaks, and ready to welcome a new chapter.
Oh, best day ever.
In the Freedom Ride experience.
Have a good day. I'll see you not this week, but next week, okay?
But most importantly,
That's good. That is good. Bye. Bye.
a place where moments like this
See ya.
will continue.
See ya on the flip side.
Matt Austin, Getting Results, News 6.
That is an amazing organization. Grace says the property was set for development, but the owner had a change of heart and offered it to Freedom Ride.
Oh, the nonprofit is holding fundraising efforts right now.
Yeah, they do so much good in Central Florida.
All right, we love to see our riders and certainly see our horses featured on the local news. Now, I mentioned a moment ago the silent auction is about to close. We're still waiting to hear that bell ring, letting me know that the silent auction is closed. The raffle opportunities are also going to close. You won't be able to buy into those anymore. So if you want to get that orchid, the apple earbuds, the leather tote, the Hillstone restaurant, or the martini package with vodka or gin, all you have to do is click on the button that says raffle. Buy those opportunities. They're only $10. We're going to announce all the winners at the end of our program. I mentioned there's only one silent auction item with no bids. It's an opportunity at Churchill Downs. Oh, no, it is still there. It still has no bids. It's an opportunity at Churchill Downs. It's lunch for 8 on Millionaire's Row. Folks, it's only $160. So get yourself to Louisville and have the experience of a lifetime. We also have our second registration reward to announce while we're waiting for the silent auction to close. So again, one person picked at random of everyone who's registered, and we're going to ask Pam from One Cause to announce that. Christine Tosi. Christine just won. There goes the bell. I love to see that. So Christine, you're like, what do I win? It's a $50 Amazon gift card. Congratulations to you from Freedom Ride. Folks, one more registration reward coming up later in the program. So if you're not registered, if you're not signed up for the auction, if you're not signed up to be able to donate, to have that full immersive experience, you can still do that, right? So get registered. We may pick your name. I'm going to give you that number one more time to make sure if you're not in that you can get in. It is text Jeans and Jewels 2021, no spaces, Jeans and Jewels 2021 to 243-725. Once again, Jeans and Jewels 2021 to 243-725. Now, in just a moment, we're going to hear that bell and the silent auction will be closed, and then we will move on to the next part of our program. But we're so lucky in this silent auction program. All right, that's our bell. So the silent auction is now closed, right? It's an amazing auction they have here. How many total items do we have about? Can you tell me that? 50? Right, 50 items in the silent auction, and all of them, let me see if that Churchill Downs, all right, all of them ended up selling with just that one. So that's an amazing job in your silent auction. But now we move into the live auction portion of the program. How do we do a live auction in the virtual format? Well, it's very similar to the silent auction, but please understand that all bidding in the live auction is still done from your bidding device. Typically, that's your phone. It could be your laptop or your tablet, whatever it may be. But wherever you're bidding from, please understand that once you go to menu and browse items, that brings you to your screen that shows all the items. You go down to hit the menu button. You go down to live auction, and boom, there are all your live auction items right there. I can do it. If I can do it, I promise you can do it. So once those items are there, you're going to click on it. I'm going to talk about each one of these items. I'm going to call out my top bidder. I'm going to then call out my underbidders. I'm going to see if I can get everyone to bid back and forth against each other. I will see people here using this amazing technology here in the studio, and then we will announce who our winner is of that auction lot. I will explain the timing of the closing of this in just a moment. But as we go into our first live auction item, I will tell you that one of our board members, Amy, wanted to take an opportunity to help collect the goods for this first auction lot. So let's check in with her at Freedom Ride.
I'm not horsing around. Don't forget to stock your bar.
Understand, what are you getting? You're getting the bottles, not the wheelbarrow, okay? You're getting the bottles, and you're getting the Grey Goose and the Bombay. And look at that tequila. The Glenlivet 12-year Scotch is in there. Folks, the Woodford Reserve, the Baileys, the Jack Daniels, the Veuve Clicquot, and of course the Grand Marnier. Understand that all of these bottles, except for the last two that you see there on your list, are all 1.75. They're the big boys, right? The handles, as many people call them. So you're getting all the big bottles, and then of course you're getting the bottle of Veuve and the bottle of Grand Marnier. So as I look over here, I want to be able to see my bidders. I don't see that over here. Can we pull that up for me? There it is, right there, right? So we actually opened this up at just $100, working on getting some bids on this one, and we got $100 real quickly, because who wouldn't bid $100 on this? Maria Martinez opened us up at $100. Peter Alpert came in at $200. Bora Erbilin came in at $300, and currently John Hronek came in at $400. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch these screens over here, and we need a $500 bid on this auction package right now. Is there a $500 bid out there? When I see it, I will watch the screens here. We will refresh it, and I will make sure that I acknowledge it. I want to see if Bora wants to come back one time at $500, or Peter wants to come back. Peter was in at $200. We got to get a $500 bid to keep this one going. Maria, Peter, Bora, or John, anybody at $500 out there one time? We're watching our screens here. We're watching to see who else is going to get their finger on that bidding button. Understand, folks, that remember, once you tap the Stock Your Bar button, it will bring that item up, and right there it says bid. You tap the bid button and we will see you here in the studio. I will tell you exactly how the timing is going to work on these items. I'm going to give you a 30-second counter. It will not be a 30-second counter on your bidding device. It is a 30-second counter that we keep here in the studio. When that 30-second counter gets down to 0, we will ring the bell, and I will announce who our winning bidder is of this auction lot. So currently we have a $400 bid right now. It's barely at the retail value of this auction lot. Is Maria, is Peter, or Bora, or John going to end up with this one? It's a 30-second counter we're going to put on right now. And please understand that over these next 30 seconds, we're not going to celebrate. We're not going to get excited about any bid that comes in. We're going to take some time and talk about this auction package. When that bell goes off, that is when I will be able to announce who won this package, celebrate the donation and the purchase price that they are giving to Freedom Ride. But it's not just giving to Freedom Ride. They're getting 10 bottles of liquor in exchange for that as well. It's the Grey Goose. It's the Bombay Sapphire. It's the tequila. It's the Glenlivet 12-year Scotch. All handles, all 1.75 liters. It is the Woodford Reserve. It's the Bailey's Irish Cream. It's the Jack Daniels Black Tennessee Whiskey. It is the Veuve Clicquot and his Grand Marnier. Remember, all those bottles are the big ones, the handles of those bottles. So Amy worked hard putting all the bottles in the wheelbarrow. I'll tell you again that, remember, you don't get the wheelbarrow. This is just for these 10 bottles. So the bell has gone off. We're going to check our list here one more time just to make sure that we know exactly who our winner is. We do have a winning bidder at $400. This is John Hronek. We are sold, thank you, from Freedom Ride. There we go. The bell goes off again, right? All right, let's go on to our next live auction lot. This next live auction lot is for those who have a need for speed. What does that mean? That means we want to send you to your choice of 16 different NASCAR racetracks. We've got a picture up there of Daytona International Speedway, not only because it's the closest to Orlando, which is where Freedom Ride is located, but understand that if you go to Daytona or many other tracks on the circuit, there is banking on the tracks. And what is banking? Banking is that 31-degree angle that you see there. You will be driving on that type of banking. If you go down to Homestead Miami Speedway down in Homestead near Miami, you'll be on 20-degree banking. There are tracks that people don't realize, not only the thrill of driving 160, 180, 200 miles per hour, but also riding on tracks with banking. So we're going to give you that NASCAR racing experience. You're going to choose from 16 different tracks, including Daytona and Homestead Miami that I mentioned, Atlanta, Talladega, Las Vegas, and Charlotte. If you read the description on your bidding device, you'll see all 16 tracks that you will have the option to go to. It is a 3-hour experience once you're at the racetrack. Once you're at the racetrack, understand that you're going to have a driver's meeting. You're going to get suited up in a fire suit. You're going to work out how to have your spotter communication, because you're going to have a crew chief and they're going to let you know where on the track you are. You are in the car by yourself, no lead car to follow. You're putting the pedal to the metal and you're driving as fast as you can at any of 16 NASCAR racetracks. So we had an opening bid of $300. Lena Combs came back with a $400 bid, and right now my top bid is at $500. I need a $600 bid to get us going on this one. The retail value on this package is about $1,000. Right now we're just at $500. So is there a $600 donor out there, a $600 bidder? $600, I'm going to try to go as slow as I can with an understanding that we got to get through these items. We got to create that urgency that not only are there great parts of the program yet to come, but we also want you to have time to bid on these items. I need a $600 bid. When you click on the NASCAR Experience, the green button is staring you in the face and it says bid. And right above that button, it says 600. So who's going to come back with a $600 bid? Lena, are you going to come back one time? Lena Combs, we're asking for $200 more dollars out of you, not only for this NASCAR Experience, but also to support Freedom Ride. So just like we did on the last live auction package, we are going to put a 30-second counter on this auction lot. Remember, it's not an exact 30 seconds. When we hear the bell here in the studio, that will mean that is up. So as bids potentially come in over this next little while here, we're not going to celebrate or get too excited, because we're going to wait to hear the bell when this auction lot is closed, and then we are going to close it out and announce who our winner is. So hit that green button on your phone. Give yourself a chance to drive at Homestead, Miami. Give yourself a chance to drive where they race the Great American Race at Daytona International Speedway on that 31 degrees of banking. You can go to Atlanta or Talladega or Las Vegas or Charlotte, wherever you want to go. 16 tracks, you get a chance to do that. So this is that for those people who have that need for speed, right? Do you have a need for speed? We're about to find out one time. So here's what we got. The NASCAR Racing Experience is our second live auction item here at the Freedom Ride Jeans and Jewels Gala. We've got 4 more coming up, and all of them are currently available on your bidding device. So if you want to get bids in on them now, you certainly can do that. So who wants in before we're all closed out of these items? The tracks are some of the most iconic on the NASCAR circuit. It's Daytona, it's Homestead, Miami, it's Atlanta, it's Talladega, it's Las Vegas, it's Charlotte. You can see them all listed there. It's Dover. I could go in. It's Richmond. I could go in and read all of them. All right. So the bell just rang. So here's what I think I want to do, right? So we have a top bid of $700. What I think we can do, let me do some quick little math in my head. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave this right now. Jill Dykstra, I'm going to do the best I can on this one. Nikkonen, right? Jill Dykstra Nikkonen is our top bidder on this item, and she's going to win it at $700 for Freedom Ride and for the NASCAR package. We are sold, thank you, from Freedom Ride. All right, let's go on to our next live auction package. Our next live auction package is one that takes a little explaining, so hopefully you'll pay attention to what I'm about to share with you. And we've got some great slides that you can see. Nope, it's on this side right here. That you can see right here, showing you where you're going to be going and what you're going to be doing. This is 4 days and 3 nights. Tell me the name of this package again. Close to home getaway, right? Because you're going to stay close to home, but you're going to get away. Many of you will be able to road trip to these destinations. It's Charleston, it's Savannah, it's St. Augustine, it's Key West. You're going to stay in a 4-star hotel in any of those destinations for 4 days, 3 nights. You're going to get 2 tours in any of the destinations. You're going to have professional travel agent services, and it doesn't expire for 2 years, so you have plenty of time to go. The first destination is Charleston, right? You want to go to historic Charleston and see all the amazing things that Charleston has to offer you there. As I mentioned, it's 4 days, 3 nights in your choice of those 4 destinations. In all the destinations, you will have that 4-star hotel for 2, the 2 tours while you were there, the professional travel agent services, and for those of you who might be a little bit worried about traveling right now, it doesn't expire for 2 years, so you got plenty of time to go on this trip. So I got one more page to turn before I get to my Charleston page, because I want to tell you that while you're there, you're going to have your choice of some pretty amazing destinations, amazing tours that you can go on. If we want to go full screen on this image at any point, we certainly can do that, right? Because what you're going to have in Charleston is your choice of the culinary walking food tour. You're going to maybe have a food and wine history with cooking class while you're there. The Charleston Tea Plantation admission and winery distillery tour, or the horse-drawn carriage tour of historic Charleston. So that is where you're going to choose while you're in Charleston. The next destination that you're going to get a chance to look into going to is where? Let's advance that slide and I'll show it to you. It's Savannah, Georgia. You want history in Savannah, you can get that there as well. And I'm sure my pages are right in this microphone, but in Savannah, you're going to have your choice of a culinary walking tour, the intimate carriage ride, a sip and shop tour, that's a special one, or the coffee and chocolate tour. That's while you're in Savannah. Our next destination as we move south down the coast is right out on the coast from here in Orlando. How about St. Augustine? While you're in St. Augustine, again, all these destinations, 4-star hotel for 2 for 4 days and 3 nights, the 2 tours for 2 people, the professional travel agent services doesn't expire for 2 years. You're going to have a guided brewery tour, the guided city tour, and fourth and finally, your fourth choice is that Key West trip. And while you're in Key West sipping on your margaritas, you're going to get that 4-star hotel as well with those tours that we talked about and get a chance to really see and feel all that Key West has to offer. So we opened up the bid on this package at $750. That's a steal. Think about that. If somebody won this for $750, they'd be in great shape, right? 4 days, 3 nights in any of the destinations. It's Charleston, it's Savannah, it's Key West, and it's St. Augustine. The hotels, the tours while you're there, the travel agent to coordinate all of your trip, and it doesn't expire for 2 years. So we opened it at $750. Is there and we got that bid. Is there a $1,000 bidder out there? A $1,000 bidder, put that finger on their button and support Freedom Ride. As I mentioned, I'll remind you again, all you have to do is tap on that button that says bid. First, make sure you pick the right item. Once you have all the live items up and you click on that close to home getaway, right now we're looking for a $1,000 bid for this package. We're going to go ahead and put that 30-second counter on this package as well. Remember, as soon as that clock gets down to 0, and when I say that clock, I mean the clock we have here in the studio, which means you don't know exactly when it's going to be. Don't trust the latency. The words that are coming out of my mouth are reaching people at home at different times. So trust the want for this trip. Hit that button that says bid, get that donation in, get that purchase in, because then you'll be able to pick wherever you want to go, to Savannah, to Charleston, to St. Augustine, or to Key West, and you'll be supporting Freedom Ride. Right now, we're looking for a $1,000 bid, a $1,000 bid that gets you 3 nights in a hotel and 2 tours while you are there. Are you kidding me? So who wants in on that? Who wants to support Freedom Ride? Who wants to be looking just like that in that cool little car as you're taking that road trip, as you're getting away from Central Florida? So we have those bids that have been coming in. We got Charleston, South Carolina, that you see the beautiful waterfront there. You'll be able to stay in a hotel there, the 4-star hotel. You'll be able to potentially go to Savannah. And if you didn't think there was enough history in Charleston, you're going to see it in Savannah. You see the canopy sidewalks there with the beautiful trees coming over. You also get a chance to select to go to St. Augustine, the oldest city in our country. And the fourth and final option in this package is our Key West package. And you see the sun always shines down there. So we do have a winning bid. We're going to refresh one more time and make sure we announce that. We do have a winning sell price of $750. We are sold, thank you, from Freedom Ride. All right, let's move on to our next live auction package. This live auction package, it smells so good. The only thing that's going to make Francesco's better than smelling it is to taste it. This is the hit of the auction year in and year out, where our friends at Francesco's has put together this dinner for 6. And this dinner for 6 will not only have an amazing array of Italian food that will make your mouth water, but you will have the perfect wine pairings to go along with that as well. So we open up this auction lot at $500. Christine Tosi, she was in at $500. Christine won one of our raffle opportunities earlier on in the program. Then Jim Savko came back at $650. Then Mark Benny came in at $800. So we're going $150 at a time. I now need a bid of $950. Is there a $950 out there who wants the opportunity to go and be wined and dined and taken care of by our friends at Francesco's? They're going to make sure that this dinner for 6 has the perfect wine pairings. The sommelier and the chef will work with you to get that perfect menu to make your guest have the dinner of the year. So right now we're at $800. Is there a $950 bidder out there? Is Christine going to come back one more time, or is Jim going to come back? Jim, if you come back one more time, we're looking for an extra $300 from you. Not only an extra $300 to get you this amazing dinner, but also, as I've talked about over and over, to support Freedom Ride and to support the 80 riders a week who get a chance to have the services of Freedom Ride. They start as young as 5 years old. Your donation and your purchase in this auction will help. So we have an $800 bid. Is there anybody in at $950? Who's going to try to get in right under the radar and get that final bid in? because we're going to put that 30-second counter on the clock right now. I'll tell you again, it's a 30-second counter that only we have here in the studio. And actually, I don't even have it here. They have it over there at the table. So they'll tell me exactly when this auction item is closed. And when it's closed, that'll be your last opportunity, or you will have missed your opportunity to put in that final bid on this auction lot. Year in and year out, people come back to this event, come back to Jeans and Jewels, and they rave about the dinner at Francesco's. And it's not any different this year. People come back and buy it who won it in years past because they don't want to miss the opportunity to have the Francesco's dinner. It's for 6 people. And I think if we go, is it back one image? That one right there, I want to see that. You see the setting there. Francesco's is an amazing place, not only from a food perspective, but also from the dining experience. You almost feel like you're in Italy just a little bit, right? And then you see that shrimp right next to it. So many of you probably want to go up and scratch that screen and see what it smells like, right? It's scratch and sniff auction item. I'd love that. So we're waiting to see this Francesco's auction item. We're waiting to see the wine paired dinner for 6. We're waiting to see who's going to get the chef and the sommelier to take care of them, to have that VIP service while you are at Francesco's. Who is going to have that menu prepared for them? The wine pairings. All right. So that's the bell. We've learned what that bell means, right? It means this auction lot is closed. We're going to see who won it. We do have a winning bid. It's Mark Benny at $800. We are sold. Thank you. From Freedom Ride. All right, let's move on to our next live auction lot. We've got 2 more to go, and we've got 2 more vacation destinations. Folks, we know so many people are ready to get away, right? And where do you want to get away this time? How about to Asheville, North Carolina, just outside of Asheville. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths upon 60 riverfront acres. Now, the person who won this at its auction last year, I will tell you that there's a chance that they're bidding on it again this year. I will also tell you that they love Freedom Ride so much that they said that even if they might be bidding on it again because they loved it so much, they're willing to help us tell you all about it so that you know what an amazing experience it was.
My family enjoyed a week at this beautiful home in the North Carolina mountains near Asheville last year. The house is big enough for 5 adults and 10-year-old twins. The grounds are spacious and absolutely beautiful. There's so much to do. We went fishing, hiking, tubing down the river, and everybody had fun on the zip line, even all of the adults. Because it was during the pandemic, we stayed in and cooked every night. The kitchen facilities are really very good, and the outdoor kitchen has a huge gas grill and a big green egg. There's also a fire pit if you want to roast s'mores. Do yourself a favor, bid on this item. You won't regret it.
All right, so there you heard it yourself from those who have been there, from those who won it in this auction in the past. You're going to go to Asheville, North Carolina, the cool winter air or summer air or fall air, right? It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. You can tube or wade or fish in the river, the hot tub, the fireplace, the outdoor kitchen. You saw the zip line, right, that was in the middle of the property. That's amazing as well. But you see some interior images that you see right there, and you will know that it is first class. It is 5-star. Everything is taken care of there. The picture in the bottom right-hand corner there, oh, by the way, is a closet, right? Some people would think that that's another room in the house, but that's a closet right there. It is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. We opened up the bid on this at just $1,500. Maria Martinez got in at $1,500, and Christine Tosi came in at $1,750. Maria came back at $2,000, and then Christine came back at $2,250. We have got a heavyweight boxing match going on right now, right? Maria, Christine, right? Who's going to be next? Is there a bidder at $2,500? This rents, if you were to try to rent something like this, at upwards to $4,000 and $5,000 for the week. Right now we're at $2,250. We're looking for a $2,500 bid. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's 90 acres. The grounds there are amazing. Again, you see those pictures. Let's go full screen on this right here too so that you can see all the amazing pictures that we have up there for you. You see the animals that sometimes stumble upon your property. You see the fire pit that's there for you to utilize while you're there. And you see in the bottom right-hand corner, acre upon acre and acre of beautiful trees and beautiful green grass. So we had a bid at $1,500, it went to $1,750, then $2,000, then $2,250. We need a $2,500 bid to keep this auction going. Who's in at $2,500? Anybody at $2,500? We're going to go ahead and put a 30-second counter on it right now. We're going to see who's going to put that final bid in and see who's going to get in just under the radar, and let me announce them as the winner of this auction item. And equally as important, those who will support Freedom Ride. You get to go to Asheville and you get to support Freedom Ride. So this is just outside Asheville, as we've said a few times. It's for up to 8 people. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 90 riverfront acres. And the river is so amazing. The water is the perfect temperature to tube and to wade. There's also fishing. You can take care of all your fishing needs and wants while you are there. You can use the hot tub on the property, the fireplace to kick back at the end of a day, roast marshmallows while you're there, the outdoor kitchen with the green egg. So everything that you would want for a week-long vacation will be taken care of for you while you are in Asheville. Who wants to drive up I-75, head through Atlanta, and realize you're leaving the big city behind? You're getting a chance to have this vacation, to get away to the mountains, and look at that beautiful house right there as you drive up. That is where you will be staying. So ultimately, we're waiting to announce our winner of this auction lot. It's 8 people. We encourage 4 couples each to be able to go in there, right? So the bell just rings. That means this auction lot is complete. We're going to refresh the screen in here one more time. And we do have a winning bidder with a bid of $2,250. It goes to Christine Tosi. We are sold. Thank you from Freedom Ride. All right. And we wrap up our live auction with a chance to get away to Napa Valley. You want the opportunity to stay at a quaint, small cottage. This is it for you. The Setting Inn, and you see it there on your screen. We're going to send you there for 4 days and 3 nights. Not only are you going to get these accommodations, which are 8 rooms in this gorgeous house at the Setting Inn, 4 days, 3 nights at the Setting Inn with that private Setting Wines tasting, the Schramsberg Winery Cave Tour and Tasting, the Culinary Institute of America Culinary Experience, where you will get the opportunity to cook and prepare and feast and dine on locally sourced fruits and vegetables, and that's right, wine. You're going to have 6 hours of chauffeured luxury sedan service. You're going to have round-trip airfare for 2 is included in this package. And how about the professional booking and concierge services? So we open up this bid with Chris Nemethy. Did I get that one? Nemethy. Chris Nemethy opened up our bid at $1,750. We then had a bid at $2,000 from Nora Farrell. So my current top bid is Nora Farrell at $2,000. We need to get somebody in at $2,250 to keep the bidding on this one going. Understand, folks, the airfare alone to head out to San Francisco, Oakland area could be worth $1,000 plus, depending on when you want to go, $1,500. But this is your opportunity to support Freedom Ride, because you're also going to stay for 3 nights at the Setting Inn. You're going to have that private wine tasting with the Setting Wines, the Schramsberg Winery and Cave Tour and Tasting, the Culinary Institute of America. If you go forward, I think one slide there you see the Culinary Institute. Folks, that's not a staged picture. Look how happy they are, right? They're happy just to have the food and the drinks from CIA, the culinary experience, the 6 hours of chauffeured luxury sedan service, all your fees, even your tip is included in that chauffeured luxury sedan service, and round-trip airfare for 2. So we had a top bid at $2,000 by Nora Farrell. Is there a bidder at $2,250? Who's going to come back at $2,250? We're going to go ahead and put that 30-second counter on this clock right now. When that 30-second bell goes off, we will then announce who our top bidder is. Is there anybody at $3,250? Excuse me. Yeah, we need to get a bid at $2,250. Is there a bid out there at $2,250 one time? Who's in at $2,250? I love this picture that we have up there on the screen right now, because you see that the sun has just set, that glow in the sky at the Setting Inn. That's the top picture. The bottom picture is one also at dusk, also with your opportunity to sit what looks like indoors with barn doors looking out onto the property. You are sandwiched in between 2 different wineries. You can look to the south, you look to the north, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the wineries while you are there one time. So the 4 days, 3 nights at the Setting Inn, the private wine tasting, the cave tour and tasting, the Culinary Institute of America culinary experience for 2, the chauffeured luxury sedan service, and of course the round-trip airfare for 2 included in this one as well. So who supports Freedom Ride? Who wants to go to Napa Valley? Who wants to be the big winner of our biggest live auction item to this point? We've sent you to Asheville. We've sent some people to their choice of Savannah and Charleston and Key West and St. Augustine. We sold you booze and liquor in our wheelbarrow. We sent you on a NASCAR experience. But now's the time to go to Napa Valley to see who wants in. Remember, all your bidding and donating is done through your device, not only for this live auction portion of the program, but in a moment, we're going to have the bid from the heart. And that's part of the program where we're going to ask you just to make straight out donations. And that is where we really find out those who support Freedom Ride in addition to those who are buying in our live auction. So this package right here, I'll say it over and over, is you get to go to the Setting in Napa Valley for the 4 days and the 3 nights while you are there. We put the 30-second counter on a long time ago. Did you guys hear that? No. Okay, so why don't we start the 30-second now? And we will go back to filling this time right now. Because I talked about the bid from the heart. And in a moment when I announce who won this auction package, I will also then segue into learning a little bit about our bid from the heart tonight. And in the bid from the heart, you're not going to get that auction package necessarily. You're going to get the feeling of knowing that you gave from the bottom of your heart directly to our mission. You're going to get a chance to donate directly to Freedom Ride, to the cause, to the mission, because of the message that we will share with you. Freedom Ride is growing. We talked about the 23 years that they've been in existence. We talked about the 80 riders a week that they support that start at 5 years old. We've also told you a lot about the veteran program. The mental wellness program are the fastest growing programs. Right. All right, so the silent auction is now closed. All right, we do have a winning bidder on that one at $2,250. We are sold, thank you, from Freedom Ride. We will now wrap up that live auction package and move on to what I've been talking about a moment ago, our bid from the heart. And in the bid from the heart, as I mentioned, you don't get a auction package. You're not going to go to Napa Valley or get a chance to drive a race car. And Carrie, if we thank you, perfect. You're going to get the opportunity during this part of the program to give directly to our programs. It's called the bid from the heart because we're going to ask you to bid from the bottom of your heart. And it's going to go directly to our mission. But it's not for me to tell you about our mission. It's for you to see it and hear about it firsthand. Now, earlier on in the program, we had many of our horses help MC the program. You remember they opened the program with that fun little Zoom gallery? Well, we've got another one of our horses who's going to join us right now and introduce us and show us and tell us a little bit more about the Freedom Ride Veterans Program.
Did you know that we also work with the U.S. veterans in Central Florida? Yep, it's a pretty cool honor. The Orlando VA and the Lake Nona VA bring groups of veterans to Freedom Ride twice a week. They seem to love being here. Look at all the fun we have together. My friend Anthony will tell you.
It's a privilege that the VA partnered up with these lovely people and actually give us a chance to get us out and actually be able to work with these horses, because a lot of us suffer with different mental health issues, stuff like that. So something like this is actually a real blessing. Freedom Ride is amazing.
I love to see the work that our horses do with the veterans. You love to see how they light up not only the veterans, but the horses as well. There is that special bond there. And those are the programs that we're supporting here in our Bid from the Heart. But it's not just our veterans. It's not just our mental wellness programs, which are our fastest growing programs. It is also about our young people. The youngsters who come to Freedom Ride, whose lives are changed, whose lives are turned around. We want to take a moment to introduce you to a young man who's 12 years old. His name is Reese, and we're about to let his dad tell you his story.
He wasn't walking up until like 5, 6 years old. That was a mission there to get him to walk. But he did it just in time for his, I think it was kindergarten graduation, to walk down, get his diploma and everything like that. And then after that was the first time I took him in Poinciana to a horse place. We got a picture, and every time he seen that picture, he kept pointing. So that's what made me look into this, and one of the therapists mentioned it. So that's when we decided to come here, and then we just started coming in. You know, as the therapist says, it's a big change, you know, since he's been coming here. You know, he's doing a lot of things independently. You know, he's not looking for assistance that much anymore. And I guess that's from, you know, just being up on that horse so high, he pretty much defeated that one. So after that, it's like, Like even when he first came here, we used to hold him a lot all the time. And after about the first 2 sessions, you pushing our hands away. So that's when she had us hold him only on the ankles. So that's kind of telling us like, yeah, he's ready. And even with the reins at first, so now he's kind of just cooling out, one hand up there. So it's real fun just watching him up. That's why I bought him these little gloves. So as soon as he see the gloves in the morning, he knows what day it is. As soon as he sees the gloves, he just points to himself. He knows. As soon as we come down Lee Road and make that left into that dirt, he's already pointing at himself and just looking around for Noah and things. So he knows when Thursday comes around. And like I said, we see the progress at home. The therapists see the progress. Every time we come back, oh man, he's really progressing from that horse therapy. You know, he's more independent now. He's doing more grabbing. You know, sometimes he's a little tough with it, but they see the difference. And this was before I even told him he was in the therapy. I didn't mention it. I wanted to kind of people coming to me about it, and I was like, yeah, this must be really working. I mean, I work all the time, so I look forward to this day because it's just me and my son. He looks forward to the day because I know he wants to see Noah and pet him and everything. And I don't know, I guess his own father-son little connection at the same time. Yeah. Smiling. Just seeing my little guy up there. Right, man? Right? Yeah, he loves it.
I love to see the transformation of Reese and hear in his dad's voice the difference that Freedom Ride is making in his son's life. It's one of the things that Reese looks so much forward to. That is one of the hundreds of success stories that we could have shared with you. Understand that our goal now is to raise more funds so we can share more success stories with you over the years. Freedom Ride is impacting those in our community who need it the most, the veterans, those with mental wellness, and of course, those young people in our community. The way the bid from the heart is going to work is I'm going to call out some donation levels. As I call out the donation levels, I would ask you to pull out your device that you've been bidding on and watching our program from this evening. It's very simple. If you hit the menu button and then make a donation, the buttons are just there waiting for you. All you have to do is tap the one you want to donate. We will see it here in the studio. We will celebrate it. We will hoot and we will holler. The way it's going to work is I'm going to call out some bid numbers, some donation levels, and then I'm going to work my way down. Our goal is for everyone who's watching tonight out in cyberspace to be able to give and donate to Freedom Ride. Who will help us have more success stories? My first ask this evening is for a donation of $10,000. Is there a $10,000 donor out there who's willing to help us kick off our bid from the heart? You see, we have donations that have come in already throughout the program totaling more than $3,000. And we will acknowledge as many of those as we can. But I will also tell you that we want to wait and see the donations as they come in here so we can celebrate those as they show us here in the studio. We've got these amazing screens which we'll be able to see the donations as they come in. Is there a $10,000 donor out there to support Freedom Ride? At the $10,000 level, think about what you'll be able to do. You'll be able to support 10 individuals enjoying the therapeutic riding program for 1 year. 10 people for a full year can have the experience that you just heard Reese having. That's what your $10,000 donation can do. Is there a $10,000 donor anywhere out there? There is. We have a $10,000 donation? We have a $10,000 donation. How about that? Give me that bell again, right? We will celebrate that, right? That is a $10,000 donation. And who is it from? It's anonymous. It's an anonymous donation for $10,000. But folks, however we want to take those donations, not only can you put it into your bidding device, so we see it here in the studio, but again, there's all sorts of technology going on here, text going back and forth between donors right now. So although it says 3,190, I know we're at 13,190. Where are my $5,000 donors? Are there $5,000 donors out there? And at the $5,000 level, you will support 5 children enjoying the therapeutic riding program for 1 full year. Or, and listen, this is important too, as much as we want to support our humans, we're going to support our animals as well. 250 bales of hay. You know we can't do this without the bales of hay for our horses. So are there $5,000 donors out there? We do. We have another $5,000 donation. How about that right there, right? $5,000, right? That $5,000 donation is an anonymous donation. And folks, I'm looking right here. We have 3 $5,000 donations that have just come in, each one of them from an anonymous donor, but donors who want to make that impact here at Freedom Ride. Think about those donations. Can either support, however you want to look at it, 750 bales of hay or 5 children enjoying that therapeutic riding program for 1 full year at the $5,000 level. Those donations are starting to now go into the screen. You see them ticking up there now. We're getting some of those in there. We're at $13,190. Remember, you can tap that button here anytime you want. It could be when I call out those donation levels, or if you so choose, put it in as you desire. Anyone else at the $5,000 level? I'm watching my screens here to see if anybody else is in at $5,000. Where are my donors at $2,500? Who's in at $2,500 for Freedom Ride? At $2,500, you will be able to feed all 13 of the horses their necessary grain for 1 month. Think about that. All 13 horses for 1 month. If we get 12 $2,500 donations, we're good to go with feeding the horses for the year. Are there any donors at $2,500? We're looking for $2,500 out there. Anyone in? Where are my donors at $1,000? At $1,000, you're going to pay for 1 full year of riding for 1 individual. Think about that. We just got a $1,000 donation. Can I see who that's from? Is that Laura Cornwell at $1,000? Laura Cornwell is a $1,000 donor. How about that, right? Who else? Who else at $1,000? Are there other $1,000 donors out there? It's not only for 1 person to go through the therapeutic riding sessions for the year. It's also 25 mental wellness sessions, veterans anxiety, depression. Folks, understand that the phones have been ringing off the hook the past year because of that, because of those programs primarily. So we got more anonymous donations coming in now. Anyone else at $1,000 or above? Oh, we have one that came in earlier. Diane Gilson is a $1,000 donor. How about that for Diane? All right. Thank you to Diane. Anybody else at $1,000? We're almost up to $20,000. And am I correct? That doesn't include our $10,000 anonymous donation, right? I don't think that's in there yet. So we're creeping up to $30,000 at this point. Anyone at $1,000 or above? There's that $10,000 donation just went in from one of our anonymous donors earlier on in the program. Who else at $1,000 and above? Anyone else? Where are my donors at $500 and above? At $500, depending on how, you know what, before I tell you a little bit about this, how about we do this? The horses have been helping me MC the program throughout the program as it was. So how about we give one of the horses a chance to tell you a little bit about some of these next levels. Take it away.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Jeans and Jewels. I'm so glad you decided to join us this evening for this wonderful event to benefit Freedom Ride. I am one of the most favorite therapists, but then I guess we all are the most favorite. My name is Gravity. I'm kind of a large hunk of man, as you can see, so I require a lot of food, a lot of hay. I also require dental work, and I need to have my feet done, or my hooves as I would call them occasionally. They need to be done every 5 weeks. My riders need helmets, saddles, and we need equipment for the arena. So everything you donate to us goes to benefit Freedom Ride. Once again, I just want to thank you for joining us, and y'all have a great day. Look forward to seeing you next year. Bye-bye.
All right. Listen, Gravity said it best. And listen, Gravity, you look wonderful, by the way, right? You're so poised on the air with me here. At the $500 level, this is where we want to see the donations that have been coming in. We see some donations that have come in. Can we make that a little bit bigger? Is that Myrna? Myrna Tomlin at $500. Catherine D'Amico at $1,000. Catherine Palouf, who's our chair, is in at $500. Jan Coudray is in at a $1,000 donation, right? How about that? We are now up to $32,840. Who else at the $500 level or above? At the $500 level, we have to be able to buy our riders helmets. They will buy 10 helmets, 10 girths This goes under the horse and keeps the saddle on. 14 reins at the $500 level. 10 sets of various brushes and hoof picks and grooming needs for the horses. Who else at $500 and above? Lisa Shepard got in earlier on in the program at $500. Lisa, thank you so much for that. Who else at the $500 level? Anyone else? We're going to keep refreshing the screens here and see if these donations continue to come in. We're at $32,840. How about at the $250 level? Where are my donors at $250? Folks, what we're asking you for is to potentially give up one night out. You go out to dinner, maybe go to a movie, maybe go to a show. On the low side, it's $250, right? We got a $250 donation from Amy Immerfall. Thank you to Amy. Let's sort by dollar amount, because I think there were some others at $250 earlier on in the program. Right there. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Jillian Wilhelm got in at $250. Cheryl Alteaser got in at $250. Lori Steele at $250. Catherine Ennis at $250. Jane Snyder at $300. Folks, we are almost at $34,000 for Freedom Ride. Who else at $250 and above? Are there any other donors out there who want to hit that button? Remember, all you have to do is hit the Make a Donation, Bid from the Heart, and the button show up there for you. Anyone else at $250 and above? All right. At the next level, oh, we just got one more, right? I want to see how much that one is for. Can we refresh this one more time? Chris Nemethy is a $250 donor. That's a board member of ours. Yvonne Coleman just got in. If we can refresh so I can see how much Yvonne's donation was for. Because we are going to get to this next part. Yvonne Coleman with a $500 donation, right? We're at $34,340. At the next level, we're going to play a little game, right? And this game is the game that we call the Last Donor Standing. And in the Last Donor Standing game, it's very, very simple. We're going to give a prize. I'm going to pull it up right here and make sure I have all the details of our prize correct, right? We're going to give a prize to the Last Donor Standing for a 3-day, 2-night stay at the Vista Cay Resort. Everyone in the studio, including Carrie and everyone else, it's very important. I want to get everyone so ramped up for this. Everyone give me a good ooh. All right. All 4 people in the studio gave me an ooh. You're going to have a 3-day, 2-night stay at the Vista Cay Resort here in Orlando. It is not just any little hotel. It is 1,400 square feet with a private covered balcony, a fully equipped kitchen, full-size appliances, a separate dining room and living room, a laundry room with a full-size washer and dryer, and look at that beautiful aerial of the property. So if you want a small little staycation where you get to stay in town, or maybe when you have guests come to town, you don't want them staying with you, you're going to stay there. It is a 2-bedroom condo as well, if I didn't mention that, so there it is. It does say that it even sleeps up to 6, so 2 bedrooms with some sort of pull-out option as well. We're going to give this to the person who gives at least $100 last. So the last donations that have come in most recently are Jill Dykstra Nikinen, who was one of our live auction winners earlier. Then John Hronik came in at $250. I think he was another live auction winner. And Marianne Gray, our executive director, was in at $250. So let's go back to the scoreboard so we can see these names as they scroll in. Remember, donations have to be at least $100 to play my game. We're going to see who the last donor is at least $100. We are going to put a 30-second counter on the game in just a little while. Not yet. But when I put that 30-second counter on there, you won't know exactly when the 30 seconds is going to be up. You just have to play, and donate, donate, donate. We know that your system might get clogged up at some point, meaning it goes a little bit slow. So just hit the button once. We'll see it here in the studio, and we will celebrate you, right, to see who's going to win this. It's a 3-day, 2-night stay at this beautiful resort, 2 bedrooms for up to 6 people, 1,400 square feet with a private living room and dining room. We're going to see if any other donations come in to drive our Last Donor Standing game. Remember, when that 30-second counter gets put on the clock, we will wait and we'll hear the bell go off. Now, after the bell goes off, we are going to wait a few more moments to allow the latency and the last donations to come in, and then we'll announce who our winning donor is. Who wants this beautiful 3-day, 2-night stay, a getaway for themselves, or to stash your in-laws when they come to town? We're over $35,000 already. We just got another $100 donation from Nora Farrell. So Nora, thank you so much. And you saw there, Nora actually, I think, gave earlier in the Bid from the Heart. So you can play this game as many times as you want. So right now, Nora is my last donor. Nora would get this 3-day, 2-night stay for up to 6 people for her $100 donation. Who else wants in at $100? Who wants in for at least $100? So let's go ahead and put that 30-second counter on the clock right now. And remember, folks, there's Chris Nemeth is now in with a $100 donation of his own. He wants to see if he can win this package. Who's going to walk away, potentially for $100? Maybe you even have to donate 2 or 3 times. Every time you hit that donate button, that bid button, that $100 button, you're playing my game. In a moment, we're going to announce who wins the game, and more importantly, we're going to celebrate how much we just raised for Freedom Ride. So Chris, one of our board members, currently our last donor. It was John, then it was Marianne, then it was Nora. Oh, Karen is now in. Karen knows how to play this game, right? Karen is in as my last donor. So Karen has outdone Chris, who outdid Nora, who outdid Marianne. Who wants to get in? John Hronick is now back in with a $100 donation. Who's going to outdo John? Remember, all you have to do is hit that bid button, hit that oval $100 button, and then we will be able to see who our winner is. Karen has come back again, and Karen wants to play this game. Who's going to come back one more time and bump Karen out of there as well? We're going to wait and see who supports Freedom Ride, and more importantly, who wins our last donor standing game. Who is our last donor standing game? Okay, so the bell has just rung, which means now we're going to let the latency run out, which means we've got time till we know that the last donation has come in. So after Karen's last donation, Jane Snyder came in with a $100 donation. Ryan Knockett came in with a $100 donation. Marianne came back with a $100 donation. Jan Croudier came back with a $100 donation. Stacy Austin came back with a $100 donation. Who else wants to play our game? Does anybody else want in? This is going to be your last chance because we're going to go ahead and call out. Wendy Olin got in one time. Jill Dykstra-Nikinen got in one more time. We're going to let the latency all run out. We've got a few more seconds here to see if any other donations came in. Karen Bobinger got in one more time. Anybody else? The last donations are in. Stacy Austin came in. We're going to see if anybody else is in before we're going to wrap it up. Before we're going to announce our winner. The timing is Jan Croudier is now in. All the names have been coming in. You all know how to play this game now, right? You've been waiting to the last second to see who's going to be our last donor. Liz is now in with her $100 donation. So here's what we'll do. We're going to refresh the screen one last time. You can do that for me here. We're going to look here. Our last donor standing game is closed. Our winner is Liz. But more importantly, look what we just did on the screen up there, is we just raised $36,990. I love that for Freedom Ride. Congratulations and thank you so much for all who donated in tonight's Bid from the Heart. Now, we've got a little bit more business to take care of here. As much as anything, we're going to give away some prizes to you. So let's go ahead and go back to Carrie, if your visuals there, your graphics there, so we can get that logo slide up for just a moment. Because as we go through now, the next things we're going to do is we're going to give away our raffle prizes. So Carrie, advance one more from there, please. Our raffle prizes are very similar. I think there should have been a logo slide in there. Was there not? There, that's the one that I want. Perfect. Let's leave that up there, all right? I got you. Okay. So here's what we have, right? We're going to give our raffle prizes away and announce who won them. We have randomly selected winners for all 5 of our winners. They're posted here on a document for me to see, so I'm just going to announce who they are. Our first raffle prize is our Apple wireless ear pods, and that goes to bidder 223, Wendy Olin. So congratulations, Wendy, you've won that. Our next raffle prize, we had 5 total auction prizes, is the beautiful orchid, right? It's amazing. This orchid is oftentimes one of the best sellers every year. We have an orchid every year. And our winner of that one is Rita Moore. So Rita, congratulations, you have won our beautiful orchid. Our next raffle prize was our leather tote bag. And that goes to, and I love to see some of our biggest donors in the Bid from the Heart. I believe that karma really works, folks. That's going to go to Diane Gilson. So congratulations, Diane, and thank you for your big donation in the Bid from the Heart as well. How about this? Our Shaken Not Stirred package. That is the one that had the vodka and the gin, right? That goes to Maria Martinez, another bidder in our live auction. So Maria, congratulations and thank you for supporting Freedom Ride. And our Hillstone Restaurant gift basket. that goes to Kathy Gooden. So Kathy, congratulations. And just because I haven't heard the bell in a while, can we give a round of applause for our 5 raffle winners, right? And everyone who played our raffle games, thank you so much for supporting Freedom Ride. Now, if you won any sort of item this evening, right? A silent auction item, a live auction item, any of our raffle prizes, please understand that you're going to pick up those items at Freedom Ride. When? It's very simple. All you have to do is wait to get a text through our BidPal platform. That's how you all have been bidding and being part of the program tonight. They're going to text everyone after the program with the exact details of how you're going to pick up your auction winnings. There's 3 things I have left to do before I wrap up the program and turn it over to my co-host, if you remember, right? The horses. They're going to upstage me one more time. The first of my last 3 things is we have one more registration reward to announce. This is just someone who we picked at random. All they did was register for the program, and they're going to win a $50 Amazon gift card. So, Pam, do you have our 3rd and final registration reward? Stacy Austin. How about that, Stacy? Congratulations. You win a $50 Amazon gift card. Thank you to everyone for getting registered for our program, because that's the most important part as we hope to raise money for Freedom Ride throughout the night tonight. So thank you so much for that. Finally, the last 2 points of business. First is I want to thank a few people. The people who helped bring this whole program together. It's our friends at the launch group who made everything sound and look tremendous. Thank you. We can give that round of applause for our friends at the launch group. And Carrie Campbell, thank you. My company, Alpert Enterprises, our friends at One Cause, and Pam Suiso, who made everything look and sound amazing through the bidding platform and making sure that we got all the donations as they come in. And of course, our Jeans and Jewels Committee Chair. This has been her 732nd year of chairing this event. So Catherine, thank you so much for all the hard work you do in putting on this program. So with that, what we're going to do, if we can bring up my total, is that all the numbers added together? All right. So what I'm going to do, and that's with sponsorships, correct? All right. What I want to do is I want to announce the total money we have raised through Jeans and Jewels for our gala this evening to support Freedom Ride. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a virtual world. There are people who say that you can't fundraise this way. Well, Freedom Ride says, bah humbug. I got your fundraising because we know that our donors will watch. They will support this program. We'll put on a great program, give them a chance to donate. And we raised more than $50,000 tonight. We raised more than $60,000 tonight. We raised more than $70,000 tonight. We raised more than $80,000 tonight. Can you hold up the sign one more time so I can have the exact number? Our total money raised at the 2021 Jeans and Jewels is, what's that? You want me to round up by 30 because we're sure that somebody out there is going to donate that $30, is $82,000. How about that? That is awesome. Thank you so much for all of you who watched tonight and supported this amazing organization. My name is Jason Alpert. I have loved being your auctioneer MC here this evening. We want to once again thank our friends at the launch group. We want to thank Pam with One Cause, and Catherine has been working the bell over there like nobody's business. But we all know that what do you want to do? You want to see more horses, and you want to see them co-host the show with me. So we're going to allow them to wrap things up. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, Jason. That's it for Virtual Jeans and Jewels 2021. Any last thoughts? I'm still hungry. Thank you to everyone who joined in, and especially for your generous support of Freedom Ride. I'll look forward to seeing you in person next year. I'll have my tiara with me. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.